This endgame fox is very important, especially in the intermediate level, because if you are trying to push that pawn, planning to capture that pawn in g7 and promote this pawn, maybe you will think that it will win, but actually it's not, because black can secure a draw after king here in b2. If you push that pawn, king will just go c3, king here in c5, then there is king to d3, king here in d5, now king to e3, king here in e5, king to f3. After king to f5, there is only king to g3. If you go there, that would be a draw, because once you capture that pawn, he can also capture that pawn. It will not also work if king will go ahead in c7, because there is king to b3, king to d7, king to c3. After pawn to g4, there is now king to g4, king here for example in e6, and now king to e4. If white will push that pawn, then there is king to f4. If white will still continue to push that pawn, black is now winning, because there is now king to g5. After king here in f7, black has an extra move, king to h6. Black is winning. White will force to vacate that square and black will capture that pawn. So let's take back to this example. The only way to win this game is to use the technique in the endgame, the so-called shoulder charging. That is king to c5. You are to guide his king here so that you can promote that pawn into a queen. For example, if they will play king to b3, then you have now king to d4, shoulder charging the opponent's king. After king to c1, there is now king to e3. If king now in c3, then the pawn is going there in g4. King here in c4, and now king to e4, going nearer in order to capture that and promote that pawn. For example, if black will play king to c3, now there is king to f5, king to d4, g5, still king to e3, and now g6, and here king to f3, king to e6, king to f4, king to f7, and after that king will capture that pawn. Absolutely, this game is winning. That is why in this position, after king to c2, there is king to e3, king to d1, and now we have pawn to g4, still shouldering the opponent's king not to catch that pawn. And after king here in e1, there is now pawn to g5, king to f1, and now king to f3, shouldering the king. After that move, there is now g6, king to h2, and now king here in g4, king to g2, and now king to f5, catching that pawn, king to g3, and now king to e6. After king to g4, king now to f7, and the rest, white is winning the game.